How do you handle younger guys, 18 to 30, with low T symptoms? Do you try to jumpstart with HCG, etc., or straight to TRT? What about when they're concerned about future fertility?
Yeah, good question. Now, HCG is not a jump start because it shuts down their natural production just like testosterone. So there's no point in doing that. I don't like the whole put you on Nolvadex or Clomid for a trial period. I mean, if they've been on anabolics, it might be reasonable if they want to do that. If they hadn't done a PCT, I don't think PCTs are even necessary, but it's a mental game with people. So I have done that with a couple guys in the past. I had like a 17-year-old come to see me when we were a urologist. His testosterone was like 20. So you already know, and he'd been taking SARMs. And he didn't want to start TRT. So I'm like, okay, let's try 2 months of tamoxifen, try to just see if it ramps things up. And then you got to come off of it to see if it remains. And it did. He may have rebounded anyway without that, though. That's the thing. But they were freaking out at the time. So it's sort of a mental insurance thing to do the PCT. I like tamoxifen over Clomid just because it's better tolerated from a side effect standpoint. But we just have a conversation. If it's an 18-year-old, 20-year-old, it depends on their maturity level, depends on their lifestyle. A lot of these guys are actually very mature for their age. They've already been through the rabbit trail of testing, and then they end up coming to me at the end. You're not going to find just for somebody like me who's a cash pay clinic, most 18, 19-year-olds aren't going to want to come pay that anyway. So if they're coming to me, they probably have already been put through the ringer with traditional doctors and testing and been tried on things already that didn't work. And I've had that from a lot of guys who, to maintain fertility, were put on freaking letrozole, crash their estradiol, they feel like crap, they can't get an erection, and their testosterone is now 700. Who gives a crap? They feel terrible. So what we do is we talk about testosterone, we talk about the fertility potential risk. It's not a given. Again, we're back to expectation setting and informed consent. And once we go through all that, we just have a discussion about what they want to do. And if they do want to pursue TRT, I think a trial of TRT is fine. I like cream better for that purpose because it's in your system quick. It's also out quick. So if they end up not getting any benefit after 2 or 3 months, it's out. They're not going to be any long-term probably harm, and probably not from injections either for that matter. But we talk about fertility for those guys that are that young and they don't have kids and they want to have kids. We do an upfront semen analysis because I want to know what their starting baseline is. Because what if they're starting with a 0 sperm count? Well, if they don't know that, and then they get a test 6 months down the road on TRT, and then they're 0, what do? They blame the TRT when it may not have been the TRT. A lot of guys these days have very low sperm counts just at baseline. So I have them check a semen analysis up front. I tell them to freeze the sperm just as an insurance policy, unless they know for a fact they would never do in vitro. But most guys at 18 don't know that. And so I say freeze the sperm. That way you've just got it on hand in case. And then we monitor down the road. And if they want to go on HCG alongside the TRT, we still space that out. I don't do it up front because I don't want 2 variables at once. I don't know that HCG the whole time is necessary versus pulsing it in when needed with FSH if their sperm counts go to 0. There's no good way to know that. I know Dave Lee's talked about that too. Again, I go to the patient comfort level is what matters for me. If they feel better mentally going, no, I just want to take it every day or every whatever, I want to take it alongside my TRT, that's fine. We still got to monitor semen analyses either way, and if that starts tanking, then we talk about adding in follicle stimulating hormone. And for now, that's available. There's a compounding pharmacy making it that's affordable. If that goes away, I don't know what we're going to do. I'll probably be advising them to seek out HMG from India, to be honest with you, because that's still better than coming off and getting on a aromatase inhibitor or Clomid or any of that because you just feel like dog crap. Yeah.